Welcome to The Explainer. Today we are doing a deep dive into Chapter 88. And let me tell you, this one's a doozy. It starts with a simple search for a lost grandfather, but it quickly spirals into a full-blown rebellion against, well, heaven itself. We're going to see how one person's search for the truth could literally bring the whole system crashing down.
So, here's how we're going to break it all down. We're going to follow Ja's journey through 6 key parts of the chapter. We'll start with a really disturbing discovery she makes and end up right on the edge of a revolution. Let's get into it.
Okay, so the chapter kicks off with a pretty stark revelation. Jock is basically pulling back the curtain on this so-called paradise, and what she finds underneath is, well, it's the grim reality for the servant class, the people they call Kens and Barbies.
And I mean, listen to this. This comes directly from Jay's own Barbie. She's talking about how sometimes she had to sleep on the floor just because her masters thought it was creepy for her to be in a chair watching them sleep. A consistent, safe place to sleep was a luxury, not a guarantee. It's just a really unsettling look at the dark side of this paradise.
And this is where Jock's perspective really changes things. Her Barbie is trying to talk about moments of kindness, getting leftover takeout or watching a movie with the masters. But Jock, she just cuts right through it. She calls it what it is: apathy. It wasn't kindness, it was just convenience. The masters didn't care one way or the other as long as it didn't bother them.
So right there, that realization is the catalyst. It's the moment Jacques goes from just being an observer to someone who is ready to take action. You can practically see the first spark of a plan ignite.
And boom, with this one line, the entire mission changes. This isn't just about finding her Gramps anymore. She flat out says, "I think we should fix heaven." She has basically just declared war on the entire corrupt system.
Then her Barbie gives her the exact piece of information she needs. In this whole system that's designed to keep people down, it turns out one person, a former Ken, has actually ascended to master status, a guy named Pastor Kenneth. All of a sudden, Jacques' huge, ambitious plan has a target, a name and a face.
So on the way to find this pastor, something else happens that's just a huge turning point. Jock has a conversation with her cart driver, and he ends up exposing the absolutely soul-crushing mechanics of how this whole rigged system actually works.
Okay, so get this. The driver tells her about this secret point system. Masters can give drivers a rating, from a +1 all the way down to a -3. But here's the kicker. The Kens and Barbies are forbidden from even mentioning it because it might make the masters uncomfortable. I mean, it's a system that is literally designed to be secretive and totally unfair from the get-go.
And to show her just how unfair it is, the driver gives her a perfect example from his own life. He got the worst possible score, a -3, because he got stuck in a traffic jam, something he had absolutely zero control over. He got slammed for a minor inconvenience that wasn't even his fault.
Now this is where the sheer scale of the injustice really hits you. This man has been a Ken driving this cart, trying to scrape together enough points to ascend for 483 years, almost 5 centuries.
But Jacques, of course, being Jacques, she starts doing the math in her head, and the number she comes up with is just staggering. At his current rate, it would take this poor guy about 23,000 more years to earn his freedom. That's when it becomes clear. The system isn't just hard, it's a complete lie. It's designed to be impossible.
So now she's armed with this devastating truth, and she finally arrives at Pastor Kenneth's church, which, surprise, surprise, is actually a TV studio. And this is where her plan kicks into high gear.
It's actually brilliant what she does. She totally weaponizes her status as a master. She goes up to the Barbie producers, tells them it's her greatest desire to be on TV, and then dangles the one thing they want most in the world: maximum points. And just like that, they give her whatever she wants. She completely hijacks their daily broadcast.
And the second those cameras go live, she makes her move. First, she introduces herself and makes a public appeal for information on her grandfather, Henry Holland, promising max points to anyone who helps. Then, she pivots and invites Pastor Kenneth on for a little live interview. He has no idea what's coming.
She starts off so cleverly, with this fake admiration, right? "Pastor, how on earth did you achieve ascension so quickly?" But it's a total trap, a question designed to make him brag, and he walks right into it.
And then, live on air, she just dismantles his entire story with cold, hard math. She points out that for his story to be true, he would have had to earn something like 5,000 points a year, an impossible number. And under that pressure, he cracks. He admits he was given points for a job, being a preacher, after he ascended, a job he hadn't even started yet.
But she doesn't stop there. She corners him live on television and pressures him into calling his old master to come on the show tomorrow to explain how someone can get future points. She has completely boxed him in and set the stage for an even bigger showdown.
All right, let's talk about the immediate aftermath of this broadcast, because the fallout is swift and it is huge.
Her broadcast had a truly seismic impact. We're talking hundreds of Kens and Barbies lining up outside her house, all wanting to give her information in exchange for those points. She basically mobilized the entire servant class with a single TV appearance.
And out of all that information, one crucial fact comes to the surface. Not a single one of them has seen her grandfather in 49 years. This confirms everything she was suspecting. There's no way he would have just stayed quiet in a place this corrupt. Something is very, very wrong.
And I just love this exchange. Her Barbie says, "I think you just stirred up trouble, Jack." And Jack's response, "Oh, I'm 100% certain that I did." She knows exactly what she's doing. This was no accident. It was a calculated first move in a rebellion. And she is totally embracing the consequences.
So, the chapter ends by setting the stage for the next day's broadcast, and the stakes could not possibly be higher. This is shaping up to be a moment that could change everything.
And then she reveals the true scale of her ambition to her Barbie. She warns her that tomorrow, on that show, she thinks all the Kens and Barbies will take a step toward ending servitude in heaven forever. This isn't just about Pastor Kenneth anymore. This is about bringing the whole system down.
Which of course leaves us on the ultimate cliffhanger. Jack has engineered this public showdown. She's forced a master to come and answer for the whole broken system, live on TV. She's put the powers that be on notice, and everyone is watching. So the big question is, what's going to happen when that master shows up?